Hey guys, this is Porter Incorporated and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a basic HTML web page. In the case of the tutorial also, we're going to be learning how to create a header and a paragraph on a web page. First of all, if you are new to this channel, I'd like you to click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell notification so that whenever I put up a new video, you'll be among the first person that will get notification and subscribe to my videos. Alright, thank you. So right now I'm going to jump start in the tutorial. I have already created a folder on my desktop. Alright, so today we're going to be learning about HTML web pages. Okay, now first of all, HTML simply means hypertext markup language. Okay, and HTML is not a programming language, rather it's a markup language. And also I also like to tell you that HTML is a file system, so every file that has a .html extension is open on your browser because it's a web page. Okay, now I'm going to start first of all by creating a folder whereby I'll save this. Okay, I'm going to call it HTML headings. Okay, now in this folder I'm going to create a new file. Now first of all I'm going to open my editor. Alright, creating a new file on your computer is simply open a text editor, and when you try to save you give it a name. So this one I'm going to call this index.html. As you can see, I give it the file extension HTML, so this will easily be recognized by my browser, so it's telling the browser that it's a web page. Okay, so I'm going to select my desktop and this folder and this. I'm going to click on save. Okay, now we've created our first file, so if we go back to that folder, you see we have our HTML file in there. So we're going to jump start into that file and start writing. Now when you want to create an HTML web page, the first thing you want to do is to create a tag and call it doc type. Okay, so you create a angle brackets, an exclamation mark, and call it doc type and give a space, right, HTML. Alright, now what this means, this simply is telling the browser the type of document. In other words, the version of HTML web page you want to display or run on your browser. And today most browsers, they are compatible with HTML5. Okay, so this illustration simply means it's an HTML5 web page. Okay, so doc type declares the document type, and HTML simply means it's telling the browser that this is a version of the HTML and this is for HTML5. Now also there's another tag called HTML tag. Okay, and now whenever you're creating a tag, always ensure when you open the tag, close it, because it's very important so that to avoid mistakes. Now HTML tags tells the browser also where the document starts. Okay, so this is telling the beginning of the document. So everything we're going to do on our web page is going to be inside this HTML tags. Okay, now in every web page there are sections into two parts, the head and the body. Alright, now the head of every web page contains the browser information that the browser requires in order to display this web page very well and well rendered for the user. Okay, now we're going to first of all start by creating a head, and in the head tag we have other tags that can be inside. For example, the title of the page and the meta tags, which can be used to tell the browser how to render this page. For example, the language and also the screen size, the portraits, and the rendering of the page, depending on the devices you're going to run. And also in the header tag we can also link our external files, either JavaScript file or CSS file, but I'm going to talk much about that. Right now I'm creating a basic web page, so I'm going to create a head tag, and I'm going to close it. Then in this head tag we're going to go inside. I'm going to create a tag called the title tag. Now what does the title tag does? Okay, this title tag simply helps us to give our page a title. Okay, but meanwhile, right now I'm going to save this page. Okay, then I'm going to go back to the folder, and I'm going to open it with my browser. Alright, now let's see what's going to happen. Now you notice this is the web page. Because we don't have anything on it yet, it's blank. But I tell you, look at this title here, it's showing index.html. So if you don't give the web page a title, it's going to give the title automatically the file name. Okay, now we're going to change this title now to something else. So we're going to go back to the file. Inside this title tag and the content, I'm going to write something like this is my first web page. Okay, then I'm going to click save. So every time you change anything on your own web page on your editor, what you're going to do, you always click on the save button and reload your browser. See, it has changed. This is my first web page. Okay, now going forward, we're going to talk about the body now. So I'm going to create another tag outside the head tag. So I'm going to create a body. All right, the body tag. Now in this body tag, this is where all the content of the page is being displayed. Okay, all right. Now inside the body, I'm going to write let's say hello world. Okay, now I'm going to click save and go back and reload the page. You notice we have hello world here. Okay, so this is simply how a basic web page looks like. So everything I'm going to display, or everything we are to display on a web page, is inside the body tag. Okay, so in the body tag, this is where every content of the web page, the things you see when you browse a website, this is where they're all displayed. Okay, and remember, in HTML, whenever you open a tag, always ensure to close it. Now, an opening tag, it starts by angle brackets, the name of the tag, and close angle brackets. Then in between is the content of the tag. Okay, then when you want to close the tag, you put an angle brackets / and the same name of the tag. Okay, because if you don't do that, it's going to assume that you open the tag and it didn't close. Alright, very important. And now something I want to tell you about HTML is that it's not a case sensitive scripting language. In other words, I can say body in uppercase. Alright, I can use an uppercase to write body, but whatever I use, always use the same thing to end it. Okay, and if I click save and go back and reload the page, it's still the same thing. Alright, it still renders, but according to the W3 standard, it is recommended or advised to always use lowercase. Okay, so I'm going to create back to lowercase and save. Now I'm going to show you something else. HTML does not recognize white spaces. Okay, what does it mean by white spaces? That is to say, let's say I want to write something like this hello world, and I decide to press enter, go down, hoping that the page or the web page this word is going to display with different spaces. But when I click save to go back there and reload the page, it's still the same thing. In other words, HTML doesn't recognize these spaces. Okay, now in order for us to be able to format our web page like this, that is, if I want to write it hello world to display like this, there's a tag called the pre-formatted text tag. Alright, so this is how it is. You write a pre, then I'm going to close it here. So this pre tag means pre-formatted text. Okay, it means that whatever way you write it, whatever way you want to format it, maybe it could be a poem or something else. Alright, this is how it's going to display. So I'm going to click save now. You see it's going to give us a space. You get it? Now it looks like a poem. Okay, and now the font size changes. But in HTML, there are other ways to bring down your text. There's also a tag, or rather an element, that is used to giving a line break on every web page. Okay, so irrespective of writing hello world with different spaces, I can rather say using a BR tag. Alright, the BR tag is an empty tag. It's called line break. Alright, it's just like you're pressing an enter on your keyboard. You know, when you press enter on your keyboard, it goes to the new line. Now, because HTML doesn't recognize white spaces, there's a special tag used for breaking the line one level down. Okay, so it's called a BR tag. BR simply stands for line break, and you can see it's an empty tag. Why? Because it doesn't have an opening and closing. It's just the name, for the space, / and the closing angle brackets. Okay, so when I save this page, what's going to do is it's going to break the line after the hello and bring the word under. Okay, so I'm going to click save, go back to the web page and reload. You see hello down word, and if I want to make it to go down much more, what I'm going to do is just to add more of this. So I added 3 of it, and it's going to go down 3 times. Okay, reload, see it went down. So that's all for the line break. In continuation of this tutorial, I'm going to teach you about headings. Okay, now what are headings? Headings are simply a kind of a title. Maybe we are writing an article, you're reading a web page that has to do with an article or it has a title. Alright, you use headings to name your sections of your web page. Now in HTML we have 6 types of headings, and these headings are represented by numbers. Okay, we have the header 1, header 2, header 3, and down to 6. Okay, now each headings have different views and they have the varying sizes. First of all, if you want to declare headings on HTML, you use H1, which is for heading 1. Then you write the content, say this is heading. Okay, say this is a heading. Then you close it with H1. Now you notice the H1 tag has an opening and a closing, unlike the BR tag. Okay, the BR tag is just for line break. So if I write this is a heading inside a H1 tag and I click save, this is what's going to happen. It's going to give me a big heading. Alright, you see a H1 now gives us a bolder text. Alright, and the font size is increased. It's a heading. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, 4, down 5 and 6. Okay, so what I'm going to do to save time, I'm just going to copy this text and paste it. Okay, grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then I'm gonna add this. So I'm gonna call this is heading 1, and I'll say this is heading 2. I'm gonna change here to H2. Okay, I'm gonna change this also to H3. Call this is heading 3. We'll change this to H4 and call this is heading 4. Okay, and same way I'm going to do it down to 6. Alright, so H4 is H4. Okay, it's going to be H5, and here it's going to be H6. Okay, now it's going to be heading 5 and heading 6. So when I click save and reload the page, you see we have different types of headings. Okay, we have H1 heading 1, this is heading 2, this is heading 3, this is heading 4, heading 5, and heading 6. Now you notice heading 1 is the largest amongst all, and heading 1 is bigger than heading 2, and 2 is bigger than 3, 3 bigger than 4, and 4 than 5, and 6. And you can see 6 is the smallest headings. These headings can be used in any time in your web page. It all depends on you, what you're writing. So if you want to have a small heading, you can use any of the headings from H1 down H6. And also, if you notice, in every heading there's a space in between. That is to say, when you create a heading, it gives a space before the contents of whatever you want to write in there. Okay, so this is how you use heading in HTML. Alongside this tutorial also, I'm going to be showing you how to create paragraphs. Alright, so what are paragraphs? Paragraphs are just a way of formatting your text so that it can be readable by anybody. Okay, and in HTML, to create a paragraph, you're simply using the P tag. Alright, so it has an opening and a closing. right? Then I can just write some gibberish tests, or ipsum sex mail galore, and so blah 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 blah, and I'll end it with a p tag. Now if I click on save and reload, see, this is a paragraph. Now every paragraph, what makes a paragraph on a web page is simply that it creates a line before and after. So if I am to create, let's say, another paragraph under, and I say this is another paragraph, and I close it, it's not going to be the same place. It's going to give a space, irrespective of, even I close the space here, there's no space. It's going to create a space in between, and it's going to format in our web page. You see? Also the same way, like I said before, HTML doesn't recognize white spaces. Even if I put the paragraph in one line here and I save, go back, it still remains the same. Okay? Alright, so thank you for watching this video. See you next in our next tutorial. I'm going to be talking about how to create links on a web page. Alright, so just in case, always remember to hit the like or the subscribe button. Okay? Thank you so much, and have a lovely day.